I'll try and picture you guys here. And another question as well. Is there any other teams that you play? Or is it just solely Mori, Chris, Magneto?
It's pretty much just those three. Like, I've messed around with other characters a little bit. Like, I've tried to, like, swap out Magneto with, like, Jill. Cause I want to play Jill, but I just don't think she would work with my team. And I don't want to really throw away my team for her. So it's like, do I want to make a new team for her and, maybe try that out? Or, I've pretty much just kind of cemented with the idea that I'm gonna stick with this team no matter how poorly or how much I suck with them, and that's pretty much been my mantra a little bit, and it worked out, I think, kind of, but yeah, it's this.
Yeah, I think your team could have been worse. Your team could have been worse, definitely. I don't know if it's the best or the strongest. But,
no, I mean, I wasn't really thinking of synergy at all when I, picked the team.
Right.
So, but yeah, it could have been a lot worse, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, I don't know about, Jill is a good character. She's not bad with Chris. She's got, combo extending stuff. The meter game with Morgan would be good because, the gun spray hyper she's got is really good. But,
yeah,
I think in the neutral you just get destroyed.
Really? Oh, poor Jill.
Yeah, if you've got Uzi, then you might stand a chance. If you've got Chris Uzis, but
yeah, I've seen a couple people use Chris with Jill, and they made really good use out of Uzi mix-ups with because Jill has really great left-right mix-ups.
Oh,
and
they're ridiculous. They're the worst.
She mixes her high-lows in there, too, really well, as well. So, I mean, but yeah, man, it's just do I want to swap out Morgan? I don't know. Do I want to swap out Magneto? I really like him, but it's tough.
Yeah, if you had to swap one of them characters, I think it would have to be Morgan. I think it would have to be Morgan, just because I don't know. It's hard. It is a hard one. To be fair, it would be better if you just picked a new team.
I think so too, but then I'd have to really, really learn. Everything would change. I have so many habits that I'd probably be trying to do that would probably blow me up. I'd probably get happy birthdayed a lot, trying to learn a new team just because of the habits I have with this team. Yeah,
that's a good point. And yeah, like we said earlier, learning stuff for Chris cannot be translated to any other character in the game. So
yeah, right.
It just doesn't really work. It's hard, but I definitely think Jill Chris could work. Magneto, it is hard. It is hard, but I definitely believe Jill is. I think she's one of the best characters. Well, one of the best unutilized characters, because you said, her left, right, and her up, down. It's most of her stuff is you can't react to it. That's outside of X Factor and Mad Beast.
Oh yeah.
Just as on her own, some of her stuff is it is unblockable because you can't react to it. There's no way. Even with Magneto, the fuzzy guards and stuff, you can't react to it per se, but you can sort of guess. You can guesstimate what's going to happen, so you can push block the right thing. But with Jill, it's all mad. I don't know if it's more that because people don't really play Jill, so you don't see her block strings and stuff. But even besides that, I don't think she's one of them characters that are meant to that are designed to be blocked. I don't think she is.
Oh man, and then if you try to jump in on her, she's got that
somersault. Yep.
Yeah, invincible. It's completely invincible.
And cancelable.
Cancelable. It's
a combo.
Yeah. I wish it was. I wish Shadowblade was as good as that somersault. But man.
No, it's not as good as that. I don't think it's as good as that.
Shadowblade's good, but it has nothing on her somersault.
Yeah, no, the hit stun on it is pretty heavy as well. I'm sure they drop. If you hit them in the air, you hit them with a somersault, they fall to the ground. I know it's not a knockdown, but the hit stun is massive on that move.
Yeah.
Massive. There's too many things about Jill that I don't understand why no one's playing her. I think the only downside to her is you pretty much have to make a team around her. And
probably, yeah.
It's a lot of effort to put in such a glass cannon. Like, hence why I know everyone thinks like Strider's really good, but no one puts Strider on point.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's tough, man, because I really like a lot of my friends hate that version of Jill. They call her Zero Suit Jill, just because of how she resembles Zero Suit Samus.
Yeah.
But I mean, I really liked 5, and I really like the way Jill, the changes to Jill, because I mean, but yeah, and she's really cool in Marvel too, and I really wish I knew how to play her, because I probably would.
That is one of my next questions. I was going to say, is there a character that you can't or don't play that you wish you could?
Oh, Jill, definitely.
Definitely yeah. Jill, yeah.
Definitely Jill.
Is there any characters you hate?
Characters that I hate. I hate Virgil, and I used to love him so much from Devil May Cry 3. He was one of the coolest characters I've ever seen in Devil May Cry 3. The boss fight against him at the very end was so epic.
Yep. I remember that.
And then, Marvel came along, and it's like everybody picked him up. He's got insane range. He's got a lot of things broken about him that are probably going to be fixed if Capcom ever decides to patch him. Yeah, fingers crossed. I want to like him, but
can't bring yourself to.
I don't. Pretty much him.
Yeah, I'm pretty much on the same level. I don't know if I hate him, but I really don't like him, and I think it's more. It's not that the character's broken. Like that's just a given. He is a broken character, but I think it's the way people play him. Like I respect the character. Like he's got stuff that's really good and strong and like technical and stuff, but you can just get away with so much boring, generic, run-of-the-mill stuff, and it's a shame because it's the players that make him seem bad.
It mostly is, yeah. I don't have any problems with him. It's the way people play him. Like I went against this one guy from Japan, and it was so cheesy. Like he had this combo where everything he did was a Hellbreaker. First off, and it's hard to not get hit by Helmbreaker sometimes, but like when he would land one, he would do like an OTG into another Helmbreaker, OTG assist into a Helmbreaker. Then he would do another OTG assist into another Helmbreaker, and then he would do what's that uppercut slash into Hyper?
Rising Tide?
Yeah.
Something like that.
That was every combo. And it was like super effective. And it did decent damage, but it was so cheesy to me, I think. Like, I wish I had combos that easy with Chris and with Morgan.
Yeah, that's another thing. It is kind of like, because he's easy mode, it's like, it makes him seem stronger than he actually is, but yeah, it's just kind of like a brain dead, like, you don't have to think, and you can just go in and kill my characters. And the thing is, like, I don't like that, but then I play Frank, so it's like, I can't really say anything, because
it takes effort to play with Frank, though. You have to level him up.
Yeah, exactly. It takes effort to get to Frank, and to be honest, it's not that hard. If it was like Phoenix Wright, then it's different, because you have to work to get Phoenix Wright. But Frank, if any Frank player tells you, I'm earning these levels, they're not earning it. They're not. If they pick a proper team, they're not earning it. I had Nova.
Okay.
They're not earning it. If I pick, sometimes I pick Wesker instead of Nova. That's hard. That's hard to get Frank to level 4. You have to do like Pacific combos. You have to add in lights where you wouldn't normally do it. Just to get it up. So
purposely scale down the combo just to get the extra hits.
Yeah, with Nova you don't do that. You just have to make sure you get enough meter to go to the hyper. So yeah, I don't want you to give me any credit. There's none there to give.
I can respect that.
But there was a question I was going to go after that. Right, you've got a magic stick, right, and you can have 3 nerfs and 3 buffs to the game. Any.
Wait. A magic stick? Like
it's
a nerf stick?
A nerf stick. That's exactly.
Oh, okay.
You got 1 nerf stick with 3 nerfs, and you got 1 buff stick. 3 buffs.
Okay.
When you was talking about Virgil, I said my number 1 nerf would be to make Helmet Breaker after you hit Helmet Breaker, your combo scales to 10% straight away.
Right.
So you can do anything you want, but it's going to be scaled so drastically, there's probably no point of doing it. So you don't take anything away from the character, it just deters people from using it so much. That's how I want it to be, so.
I see. Okay, well the first one is really easy. It has to do with Virgil, of course. It's his level 1 hyper. I hate the way that hyper is designed. Everything about it is just nuts to me. Like, how could they let this happen? Basically, first off, it's better than a 50-50 mix-up. A lot of people think, it's first, there's 2 50-50 mix-ups with it. The initial one, and then the one that happens if, like, you get let out of block stun, because sometimes the orbs miss, and they let you out of block stun, and Virgil's, behind everything, just bouncing around like nuts, and it's just that alone is silly to me. The fact that it's a hard knockdown means he can confirm off those 50-50 hits. Man, that's I would definitely nerf that hyper. That hyper needs to be nerfed. There's no reason it should exist the way it does.
Yeah, definitely. I think that would be a mechanic nerf, wouldn't it? Because obviously people have that problem with Wesker, Albert.
Wesker's isn't as bad as Virgil.
It's definitely not as bad, but it seems like it's a mechanic thing, but it shouldn't be like that. The properties they've given to the Virgil, and obviously him being off screen as well, it's like, why would you do that? Why would you? You're right. I agree with that. It'd
be like Wesker's, but because you can't see Virgil, you can't predict it. Like with Wesker, you can kind of sort of predict it based on where he starts the hyper and based on where you are as an opponent. Because the only reason why the Wesker one happens is because he misses the first hit. He dashes towards you, gets to the other side of you, crosses up. You have to reverse your blocking, but you normally can't react to that. And that's not nearly as bad as Virgil's, in my opinion.
No, I totally agree. I think the worst thing about it, obviously, it's how the hyper's designed, but with Wesker, if you're in the air and you just done it like a random hyper, you can throw a normal in the air and at least get a trade. Where Virgil, you have no chance.
Yeah, you can't trade with Virgil because of those slashes. They're projectiles, so they eat any projectile you have out. Oh man, and it's so random too. That's the most frustrating part. Like you can basically, I've tested this by the way, you can hold forward and block that hyper half the time. You can hold backwards and block it half the time. Yeah, you can be holding forward, jumping forward, or just pressing forward and block it like half the time. Yeah, so it's like, how do you predict it? Like you really have to be lucky to block that one.
So how would you make it do you know how you would get around them problems? Like,
yeah, like I thought about this a lot, and you just make it so that Virgil doesn't move around, he stays on one side of the screen.
Oh yeah, we said this before. I remember talking to you about this. Yeah.
Did we? Okay, yeah, because I think I've mentioned this to other people as well, and I'm trying to remember who I mentioned this to, but
I'm pretty sure you said this, yeah.
Yeah, just like kind of he stays on one side of the screen, and those random cross-ups won't happen because he's not just moving like nuts everywhere. So, I mean, that's one way of doing it.
Would you prefer it just to be not there?
Yeah, I mean, it could be there. It just don't give him 50-50 hard knockdown mix-ups for one bar. That's all I'm asking for.
Yeah, that is not only like is the hyper silly, it's so easy to DHC into someone else. Like every DHC works off of that. Yeah,
there's like so many ways you can confirm that into like a kill combo. It's ridiculous.
It's not fair. It is actually. Yeah, because I used to think, just leave it like whatever, but it is an issue. I think. Would you say it's more of an issue than Spiral Swords?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, because I mean, Spiral Swords. Oh man, it just takes so much effort and so much like. It's a lot of like it's just a lot of effort, and sometimes it's not really worth it. I think. Spiral Swords, yeah, I think it does deserve to be nerfed, and I think Capcom will nerf it because they don't like it when hypers like combo into each other like that. They nerfed Morgan because of it. She had an option where she can do that as well by going into Shadow Blade into Finishing Shower. And then Shadow Blade Finishing Shower, Shadow Blade Finishing Shower. It's just on and on and on infinitely.
Was that in vanilla?
That was in vanilla, yeah. She could do that. As long as she had the meter, she can keep doing that infinitely.
I did not know that.
Yeah. And Chris in pre-vanilla had something like that as well, where every single one of his grenades hard knockdown, so he can combo into... He can combo grenade super to grenade super infinitely as long as he had the meter. They took that out as well. The only one that I don't think they'll take out is Shinko's, because she can do that with her gong and with her, I forget the name of the hyper. But
yeah, I can't remember what it's called.
She's probably something like that, yeah. She's probably the only one that I could see them keeping that way, just because she is who she is.
And it doesn't kill.
Yeah, it takes a lot to kill, yeah. But Virgil, Zero, they're probably going to be nerfed.
Would Spiral Swords be your second nerf then?
I'd say Zero would probably be my second nerf, and then Spiral Swords right behind Zero, yeah.
What would you nerf about Zero?
It's hard because like if you change anything, like you kind of cripple his damage potential. Man, I don't think you should be able to combo, to do lightning loops like that infinitely, as long as whenever you want.
Yeah, I agree.
How do you fix that though? It's tough.
It is. Zero's one of them characters where if you nerf something to stop him doing lightning loops, you pretty much nerf the character, like outside of lightning loops as well. And even though it would be nice to say, oh, just get rid of lightning or get rid of Buster, not make a hard knockdown, it's like, yeah, it'll stop lightning loops, but it'll stop a lot of other stuff.
His neutral game would be toast.
The only thing I could think of is make the line scale over time. So you can get a couple, you just can't get infinitely. It doesn't do a soft knockdown. It's sort of like it's a bad example because you don't really see it, but Impact Palm, like that has scaling on it, just not much. But after a while, it's harder. You have to be quicker with the Impact Palms. Impact Palm would be on my nerf list before probably.
Really? You think so?
Yeah, I don't like it. Because to me that's the same as lightning loops. Like,
kinda. It's meterless. Like that, it builds meter.
Exactly. If anything, it's worse. Like I'm pretty sure you can do it mid-screen now. I'm sure someone's found how you can do it mid-screen.
It's harder to do though.
Is it harder to do though?
I have no clue. It just seems like because you see it less, it's probably harder to do. But I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, because I haven't really tried. Oh well, I've tried to do Impact Palm loops. I haven't really tried to do Zero because I stopped playing Zero after Ultimate came out, because I used to play Wesker, Zero, and Senko, and I didn't really think about doing lightning loops. I'm pretty sure people said that lightning loops were in vanilla. I just never came across it. I was kind of like not into Marvel as much back then, so I thought it was cheap. I literally picked the cheapest thing. I've never played any Resident Evil. So I was like, all I want is teleports and something to cover my teleports. Like when day one, when everyone was like, teleport, call assist. And that won games. Yeah, that's how I played. I was like, Wesker Zero, teleport through, and call assist.
That won tournaments.
Yeah, exactly. That was literally like the most brokenest thing. It was like, how do you block this? And then obviously everyone adjusted to it, and I thought, Senko's not going to be worth it anymore, because once you can block a Senko, she's not that good. She's only good when people can't block or they press buttons. Yeah. So yeah, she kind of fell off. I do like a Senko, but she needs a massive buff. But we can talk about it afterwards, because you got the buff stick.
My buff stick, all three of them go to Shinko, I think. Every single one of them, yeah.
Just give her a genie. I don't know Because it's weird, because like I would say give her more damage, but I don't know if that would be too much of a buff. I don't want to buff her so she's like more than like B class, like B sort of tier. Like I want it to be like mid tier, sort of like who's mid tier. I want it to be like sort of 4th level. So she's got tricks, she's got gimmicks, but she's an honest character. And giving her a damage increase, I think would make her too strong, because her mix-up game with an assist behind her is ridiculous. Like the instant overhead she can do, her dash is a teleport, and it is really ambiguous. Right.
Yeah. I've seen really insane mix-ups with LLNT. Like anything that he does is just amazing to me with Shinko.
It's not even, I wouldn't even say it's a 50-50. It's a straight up guess. Like, you don't know what he's going to do. The instant overhead is too close to the ground. If he dashes through you, you don't know if he's dashing through you, because you can like, I think there's a way to stop it from going through you. So, because obviously she can dash through you in the corner, so she goes in the corner. But I think there's a way to like, you can judge it from where she's doing the dash. And only obviously if you play a Senko, you know where the point is on the screen, where you can do the dash and it'll go behind or not. But if you don't know, you're done for. So and
I'm sure there's sometimes where even the Shinko player doesn't know.
Yeah, exactly. They're like the best mix-ups when you don't know. You don't know when the point is that she's behind you anyway. So it's like even if I know you're going to dash past me, when cold starts hitting, when like LLND does it, you don't know when you have to switch a block.
Yep.
Like, and in that circumstance, it's like, maybe you can't really give her a damage increase, because as soon as she locks you down, it's basically worse than a fuzzy, because it's not that I don't know how to block, it's like when. I've got one chance to block, like, I don't know.
I don't know if I told you my idea for a buff for her, and that would to give her a double teleport. The option to double teleport. So you can teleport and then teleport off that teleport. So you can like go left, right, or forward, or back. And it would just, first off, that would make her mix-ups even nuttier. But I mean, mostly just for her mobility, like being able to chase down people. Because as she is right now, it's even my Chris can run circles around Shinko.
And that's, when Chris can run circles around you, that's a bad character.
That's a bad sign.
That's a good idea. I've never thought about that. That would help. That definitely would help. I think she needs some sort of air normal that grants. That's what I'd like.
Really?
Yeah, not enough to, it maybe like from certain heights you could get a combo off of it, but just like a super jump height, I think she needs to make people respect jumping. Like her grab is okay, but I feel like she should have a normal that like hits that impact palm. Not necessarily impact palm, because that would be OP, but something that just stops you from wanting to jump all the time.
Yeah, I mean, even Arthur has something like that. Like he has this axe that he throws that's a soft knockdown, so like he can confirm off top screen. But Shinko doesn't. So I mean that's what would be the harm in giving her something like that?
Oh, would be nice. If I had to buff anyone, it would definitely be her. Maybe one buff to Iron Fist, but I'll definitely give her at least 2. She needs the teleport. Double teleport thing was a good idea. I never thought about that. I'll definitely give her that. And either the hard knockdown from a super jump or something, or make her gong quicker or reflect better. Because I think
it can reflect anything, can it?
I don't think it reflects Magnum.
It does.
It does reflect Magnum.
It does, yeah.
Oh, okay. Then.
I'm pretty sure it does. Like I went against, I think I want to say I went against a Shiko recently, and she kind of blew me up because I was unsure what she could reflect, and then I, quickly found out, and then by then Chris was dead.
Yeah, you can't.
I want to say that's what happened.
You might be right. I'm not too sure. If that's the case, I would want it to be quicker, because I believe Marvel is like, a lot of teams are projectile heavy, and if the character's going to be that bad, she needs something to stop projectiles, I feel. And obviously they gave her the gong, but there's sometimes it neutralizes some stuff. I think it should just straight up reflect everything. I know that would be hard to do because of stuff like triple arrow or Taskmaster arrows where it's free. So one breaks another, but then only one goes back and all that sort of stuff. So the only way it could work is if they change the properties. As soon as the projectile hits a gong, it counts as your projectile. No, it doesn't count as your projectile, because I think that's what it does. When it hits the gong, it counts as Sengo's a projectile. So when it meets another projectile, they clash.
They clash and they nullify each other. Yeah. And what you want her to do is like absorb the entire projectile as a whole and then reflect every single part.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be nice. That would be.
Would that be broken though? Would that be insane?
It would be insane, but it's on such a bad character. Wouldn't that just balance it out? That's how I feel. Like, she's that bad. Even if you gave her something really stupid, it would only make her mediocre. Like, I think that's what they did with the armor. I think they thought, oh, this armor is ridiculous. Let's give it to Senko because it doesn't make a difference.
Maybe, yeah. Did she have it in previous
I'm pretty sure she does. I'm pretty sure she does, yeah. Pretty sure she does. She's a lot better enough. She's a lot faster in Darkstalkers.
That's faster. What I hear, yeah I hear the same thing.
There's not even she's not like Magneto fast, but she's quick. She's quick.
Yeah.
I would say she's kind of like Spider-Man. Like, she can get around the screen quickly. The Shimpoopa, the swinging move, comes out a lot quicker in Darkstalkers. Her items are a lot quicker, I think, as well. I think her items in this game are rubbish. If another buff, or if they don't want to do them two buffs, make it so she throws only the good items out. Instead of, like, the kunai that does nothing. She needs to throw out the ice or the star. So you either get a freeze or a dizzy.
Yeah, you were explaining this to me, and I had no clue how it works, so I was like, I mean, why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, it's the whole, frame thing. So I think there's, 8 different items, so each 8th frame, it does a different item. So on the 8th frame, it might throw the ice at, but it only throws the ice at if you do the command on the 8th frame. And then it loops like that, yeah, so...
That's way too hard to keep track of.
It's impossible. Like, I don't see how anyone... Why even put that mechanic in the game? Why?
Yeah.
You're better off just making it just purely random. Why do it like that? Like, it makes no sense. But it's, you know what? It's nice to hear someone that wants to give Sengo's buffs, because I thought it was the only one.
Oh no, there's people that in my channel, I talk about buffing and nerfing a lot, and people are always asking about Shinko. What do you think? Buff her, mad, buff, give her ridiculous buffs, and if it's too out of control, then, tone down on them, but she really needs, they can afford to go pretty nutty with buffs with her, I think.
It would be nice. I think her and Iron Fist does deserve stuff, but it's hard with Iron Fist because it's give him a buff, but even without the buff, he is pretty good. I don't think he's a bad character. I think he's a linear character. But I don't think he's bad. He has a lot of bad matchups. Go on.
Tell me why they why they made his launcher the way they did?
I cannot tell you, but I hate it when people say make it hit off the ground, because it makes no difference. Even if you gave that to him a buff, it would not make a difference now. No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because some people were telling me, they want his launcher to hit, like a regular launcher.
The only reason I say this is because, it's annoying. It's annoying that the launcher doesn't hit someone who's not standing. But it makes no difference. Even if it could, your max damage, your best combo will not have a launch in it. That's just how the character is.
Okay.
And if you could hit them with a launch off the ground, you could hit them with any of your records.
I see. Okay. Yeah, because I know nothing about him, and that's one of the most asked things for him.
I hear a lot of people saying that, and it's you clearly do not play Iron Fist. Against strong people. I mean, unless they want it as a sort of Dormammu-esque, where it stops people from getting in on you, but the animation doesn't look like it looks. The animation doesn't look like it would do that anyway.
Maybe not. Yeah. Okay.
I would rather give him more, I don't know what it's called, more parry animation on his chi charges. So you can actually use it to get through stuff or to absorb stuff.
Yeah.
Because the frames on it are really bad. Like, I think the whole chi is something like, say, 12 frames, but only 6 of them he can parry something.
Wow.
And it will be after 4 frames. So it'll be after 4 frames he can parry for a bit, and then he's got recovery. Like, it's...
I think I've only seen somebody do it successfully once. Out of all the matches that I've seen, you know, with Justin Wong and just all the other random players, I've only seen somebody actually parry something once. So it's probably too hard to do.
It's not really that hard to do, but what it is the circumstances. I've only come up with, I think, 3 situations where it's actually worth doing. That is when Hulk does a gamma charge and then goes into his super. On reaction to the super, on the flash, you can do it. And then when he's going up, you will parry that.
Wow. Have you been able to do it?
I've done it once in a game, yeah. I wasn't recording. I was so mad.
I've
done an Iron Fist combo video, and I've shown that you can do it, though.
Okay.
So yeah, there's that. Buying a calm from certain ranges, you can do it. Obviously, it's better. The whole reason for that is, say you're in the middle of a wrecker, you can cancel the wrecker into the parry, so you don't get hit by the buying a calm.
Nice.
And
is it armor or is it invincibility?
I think it's armor. I think technically it's armor because you still take a bit of damage.
Okay.
I don't think it kills you though. That's why I'm thinking it is like a parry. Yeah. So even if you've got no health, if you parry it with a chi, it will just make it grey health, but it won't kill you. I'll have to double check that. I'm sure I've done it once though. And the other situation was if someone done a human rocket with Nova, you can do that on reaction as well. But because it's only single hitting moves.
Yeah.
So I'd either want it fast or it absorbs. So like you were saying, like armor. So he goes into an armor state so he can take hits while he's doing it.
Right.
I think that will make him a lot better because I feel counters are like really slept on in the game. Like when I was playing you and I hit you with like the Wesker counter, the projectile counter, it's like, it's a game changing thing because where you had like the life lead or you was just doing your keep away game cause
it was keep away and I was full screen and then boom, he's in off that counter.
A wall bounce hard knockdown, like to me that seems really broken, but it is kind of hard to hit someone with that. I think when I did it was literally a guess because you can't really do it on reaction to the disruptor. So it was like I think it's gonna call Magneto, let me do the counter. And it's, wicked, it's hit.
Yeah.
And let me get a combo. And a lot of people play like that. A lot of people just put things on the screen. And I think counters are something essential to the low tier characters. The same with Thor. I think his armor should start up quicker in his strike and stuff like that, just so you can get around stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, Thor to me has so many things going for him. It's so hard to believe that he's not a really good character. Cause like, doesn't his, what's the lightning move? The one where he throws out like a bolt of lightning?
Spark. Mighty Spark.
Yeah, Mighty Spark. Doesn't that not scale at all for combos?
It depends on what, if the last hit of the Spark hits, then it causes like a really weird state. The same with his hyper. I don't know damaging wise if it scales, but yeah, if the last hit of the Spark hits you, it basically makes a soft knockdown. It's basically like a lightning loop.
Wow, that I didn't know of. I just thought it did ridiculous damage in the middle of combos.
Oh no, yeah, it gives like a really weird full state. Is it a soft knock? Yeah, it is a soft knockdown. It's definitely a soft knockdown, but it has to be the last hit of the Spark. So it feels like a glitch. I don't think it's meant to be in there, and they just didn't take it out. Like, I'm pretty sure it was in vanilla, and I noticed it, and so other people must have noticed it, but they thought, it doesn't matter, it's only 4, don't worry about it. But Thor's a really good character. He can do like light, medium, Mighty Spark, light, launch. Like he can confirm like that.
Yeah.
He can. I've never done this. Someone did it to me, and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I didn't think about this. Someone did like light medium, saw I was blocking, went to spark, because you're crouching, the spark missed, and then he went into the grab hyper.
I've seen that before, yeah.
I got hit by it once like a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, oh my god, that's, why have I not thought about this? This is insane. The thing I've come close to doing, I did try to do it on you, and I thought, it's too laggy, I'm not gonna try it now. And you was coming in with Magneto, so I thought, I'm not gonna hit you, but on incoming, you can charge the Mighty Spark, and if you've conditioned them, not Mighty Spark, sorry, the Strike, the armor move.
Yeah.
Once you've conditioned someone, you can go for that on the incoming, then cancel it into his speech, and then cancel the speech into the grab. So obviously they're gonna come in blocking, thinking you're gonna throw out the Strike, which is got armor, so it's like, I'm gonna come in block, because there's no point in me pressing the button. Yeah, cancel that into the speech, and then cancel the speech into the grab. I've done that a couple of times. That
could be pretty dirty.
Yeah, I've got a friend who plays 4 as well, and he does it to me, and I know the setup, and he will still hit me with it. Because it's literally like, what do you do? It is like a 50-50 on incoming.
Yeah.
It requires no assists, nothing like that. It's just like, do I try and get away and get hit by a strike? And when the strike's fully charged, that causes a soft knockdown as well. So it's like the easiest thing to confirm of.
Jeez.
So yeah, I definitely think 4's a really good character. The only thing I can think of is his mobility is hard. I don't think he's slow. I just think it's hard to maneuver around with him.
Yeah.
It's kind of a learning process. You can't...
It's different than the other Fly characters. Kind of
Exactly.
like with Morgan. You can't do the same thing with her as you can with Storm or with Magneto.
Yeah. But yeah, it doesn't mean that she can't, like, zip around the screen. It's just a different sort of... Yeah, that's how I think it is. That and the Strike should charge up. I think the Strike should be quicker. Just so he can be on par with stuff like Magneto and stuff. Because that is literally his only tool of getting in. Because he's such a big body, he can't maneuver around stuff. He has to go through it. So I feel that should be quicker. Spark's okay. Spark's really quick. Really, really quick.
It seems like it has like 0 recovery.
Oh, it does. Yeah, no, there's no recovery.
Jeez.
It's Sonic Boom. It's a core circle Sonic Boom. It's too quick. It's too quick. I don't think any projectile you should be able to combo off of, and you can do that with that. You can hit him with a spark and then do crouch medium, crouch light medium, and then get a combo. So I don't agree with that. I would be annoyed if any other character had that.
Yeah, because I mean, at least with Morgan, you have to go into like flies and unflies and stuff. But with him, you don't even have to do that. Wow.
Oh. So yeah, 4. He's I think this is one of the other questions I was going to say as well. What do you think about the state of Marvel at the moment? Sort of like discovery wise, do you think there's much more for it to be discovered, or do you think we're pretty much this is it? Magneto, Dooms, Virgils.
Man, that's a tough question. It's because it's like it's basically prediction. Like, is there something like with Melee that's gonna happen where it's just gonna completely change like one of the lowest tier characters, like with what happened with Ice Climbers with their with their infinite grabs and all that stuff? Is something like that gonna happen with Marvel, or are they gonna nerf people, buff people? It's tough, but if there was no nerf or buff, no update coming, do you think that people would be like, okay, there's no one's coming to save us from Zero lightning loops, no one's coming to save us with spiral swords, we're just going to have to put up or shut up, either pick the top tiers or just keep playing our characters? Do you think there's anything in those characters? Do you think there's any like tech or anything useful in 4 to beat Magneto or Doom, or anything inside what's another mid-tier character? I don't know. If someone found some sort of tech on how to get items every time with like Phoenix Wright, do you think there's anything like that still out there? I think it's in much better shape than Marvel 2. The potential is higher for Marvel 3 than there was with Marvel 2 for sure. Man, yeah, I just think that like with a couple of like minor fixes, it could be really, really good. Like, I don't think there's ever going to be as balanced a game as Melee, because like every single character in that game can do like can do anything basically. Like you can win with anybody, and it's not that unheard of. But with Marvel 3, it has a little ways to go before it can get to that point, I think.
Do you believe it's more of the community to decide whether we're gonna have the top tier characters always win, or do you think Capcom have to step in and do something about the characters, or do you think it's just people not putting in enough work with the mid tier to low tier characters, or a bit of both?
Yeah. Sheesh, that's tough because I feel like people have tried with every character. But because of how easy it is with some of the higher tier characters, it's just not worth the effort. And in that respect, I think Capcom should do something about that. As long as they don't go out of control with it. Like I still think, Zero should be good. I still think Virgil should be good, but just not nuts, not like crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah. As long as they have a little bit of self-control, because they have a pretty good systems. Like the way Virgil works, the way Zero works, the way Morgan works, they're all unique and they're all probably a little bit too powerful, but
I think they're
manageable.
They were more concentrating on the concept of the character rather than what the character is actually going to do at a high level. I don't think they looked at the bigger picture, like when they're doing stuff like the spiral swords. I don't think they intentionally meant for it to be an infinite. I think they had a different purpose for it. I did used to think that was the same with like Astrovision. I think they had a purpose for it, and then people exploited it in a different way with the projectiles and stuff. But I think actually they probably did kind of intend for Astrovision to do that. I don't think they intended it for mix-ups and stuff. Yeah, because at first I thought, this is mad hard to block. I don't know if she's crossed me up or she stayed on the same side because there's two of them. I thought that was the purpose of Astrovision, to confuse your opponent in the corner and stuff like that. But it makes more sense with the whole projectiles coming from both sides. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because her mix-ups don't get any better with Astrovision, because you can do the exact same mix-ups with or without Astrovision. So it just kind of like solidifies that maybe they did mean for it to be a pretty beast of a projectile buff.
I do. Now I do. I don't want it to, I didn't want it to be like that, but I think there is I think they've had an idea of the game. This game is going to be, I think at the beginning it was like a Rushdown game, and then Seth came out and said it's going to be more of a zoning game, and then people were like, well, look at this. Look what I'm doing with Zero now. Like, you have to be wrong. And then obviously, Morgan came out, Astrovision, Bullet Hell, all that sort of stuff. I still don't think zoning and keep away is as strong as they announced it would be. I can see why they said it, because obviously they kind of adjusted all the Rushdown characters to an extent. Most of the Rushdown characters got changed. Like, apparently Jill got mad nurse, but no one knew because no one really exploited her in vanilla. And it's like,
I wish we knew what exactly they did.
Considering how good she is in this, I can't imagine what she could do in vanilla.
I know.
That had to be, I want to put it in and just find out. It has to be mind-blowing stuff. Like,
it had to have been like some sort of unblockable, like self-unblockable or something.
Yeah, meterless infinite, like mid-screen off of anything. Like, I don't know. It had to be silly though, because the way they announced it, it sounded like it was going to ruin the game.
Like the second coming of, I don't know, of like Marvel 2 Magneto or something like that.
Yeah, and I was like, really? Like,
yeah.
I can't remember any dual players in vanilla. I don't remember seeing any, like, online in tournaments. I think, no, I was going to say Alucard, but I think he only played her in Ultimate. Not too sure. But yeah, I think it was more kind of, well, I believe like the community's kind of, but a lot of them are sheep, like 7% of them are sheep. So where people were moaning about Sentinel and then like Phoenix, it's like, oh, well, just, they're broken, blah, 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 and they're not. Like, it's kind of weird, it's because now these things that people are moaning about now are actually kind of broken. maybe not broken, but they need adjusting at least. Like, Virgil needs adjusting. He's overpowered. Yeah. I wouldn't say he's broken. Zero, I think, is broken. But, Virgil, I don't think he's broken. He's just really, really ridiculously strong. And yeah, like, we had like the Wesker phase where Wesker was stupid. And at the time, I was playing Wesker and I stopped playing him because Anchor Wesker, I used to play Wesker on Anchor, but because I had the Senko thing, it wouldn't stay that order. So Wesker would be literally my point character after I've done Zero, Hyper into Armor, I'd call Wesker. But it looked like I had Wesker on point. And I used to get abuse thrown at me before the match just because, you're just playing Anchor Wesker, that's broken, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I'm not going to play Anchor Wesker. But yeah, it made me stop playing Wesker. Because it's like, and I didn't see it being that strong. I honestly didn't think Wesker level 3 X Factor was any worse than anyone else. Like, it's not like he could gunshot, teleport, and confirm off of it. He could loop his guns, but it's not like he got a combo off of a gunshot. But that's what people did. People did gunshot, heavy teleport, and that was mad, like, broken. It was like, there's definitely a lot worse in this game. I've not found it, but I know there's a lot worse in this game. And then people moan about Sentinel. I don't know why anyone complained about Sentinel.
Yeah, I mean, Sentinel, he got buffed. He got nerfed way too hard. Like, they took a lot of stuff away from him, and maybe just, I mean, they could have kept the same nerfs, but just like not have gone so overboard with him. But the fact that they did, it's like they really, really hurt him when they didn't need to. I mean, like, first off, like, how much health did he lose? Like 400?
400, yeah, I think it was
400. That's like an entire character. That's an entire Phoenix character. That should never happen.
I didn't look at it like that, but yeah, he's kind of weird. They've taken literally a chunk of him, for health, and he was a mediocre character at best. Like, I've always said, like, the problem was X Factor. It wasn't the character. It was X Factor. And I think
they factored it in, and when they shouldn't have.
And that's how I feel about Virgil. Probably. I think Virgil's good, but Virgil's a problem with X Factor, and I think probably 50% of the complaints are Virgil with X Factor, but they're just not realizing. It's sort of like how Morrigan Doom's the problem, when it's just like Morrigan is a problem on her own, but with Doom it's a lot worse. I feel like that's the same with the X Factor and the character, but this is why I think that's the difference between Zero and Virgil. Like, Zero's a problem regardless. Virgil is more of a problem with X Factor. At X Factor, he's dealable. Like, as long as you don't do silly things, like, he kind of is. I mean, you can punish Helmet Breaker. It's hard, but you can punish it.
Oh yeah, I know how to, but it's like, I mean, at the time, that was a long time ago, that whole Helmbreaker Virgil battle that I told you about. I mean, it was probably before I had patience, before I had setups against Virgil and stuff. So
yeah, I think
it is. Yeah, it's chicken guardable, grabbable. You can grab, punish, chicken guard. Even if he cancels into like S or heavy off or S. You can still grab him off of it.
That's the difference. Like, I don't see what you're meant to do against Zero. I don't see what you're meant to punish. I don't see what you're meant to look out for. It all seems safe. It all seems safe.
Oh, yeah, that's really, like, I mean, like, you can nerf lightning loops, but what that'll do is it'll just force them to mix up, and it is a really, really good mix up. So Zero will still get his damage whether or not he's able to infinite with lightning loops, just because of how safe it is to use and how easy it transitions into like a whole new mix up. So it's like, how do you fix that? Like, how do you change it? It's tough with him.
It is. Like, the thing is that obviously people saying, lightning loops from the old one, but the DHC glitches in the old one, so it was irrelevant. No one need to put in the hard work to learn the lightning loops when they could just do the glitch with Zero into another character. So, I can't imagine what they're gonna do with Zero, nerfing wise.
It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be just a headache with him, I think. because I've never seen a good Zero nerf idea. I have never seen one.
Yeah, I think the most popular one is something like oh no, I thought a smart one was it nerf the length of the Buster charge? Well, not nerf it, make it longer. So he has to charge longer for Buster. It's still got the same properties, but yeah, he has to hold it for longer. That one seemed okay, but I don't play Zero, so I don't know how much it will affect his combos.
Yeah. I mean, his combos are really long, so I'm sure people...
Yeah, I can't see if it's going to be an adjustment to his combos, or he just can't do the combo full stop. I'm not too sure.
Yeah. Like, he could probably get off, like, one extra lightning loop, not infinitely, but he could still get, like... Well, no, he could... Yeah, you could still do lightning loops, you just can't do the Buster, the easy Buster extender in between lightning loops. I see, okay.
I don't know if it would have to shorten his combo to do the lightning loops, though. I don't know if that was the whole point of it, so he would have to do lightning loops a lot earlier, so he might not get the meter. I don't know if that was the thought process behind it. But I've seen some saying, oh, don't make it do a knockdown anymore. Lightning loop, the lightning doesn't cause a soft knockdown. Nerf pizza slicer, don't know what that's got to do with the loops, though. It's an annoying move, but I definitely would rather the person who's playing Zero have to be creative with their team to get the kill than just think, I can call these two assists and I'm going to kill you anyway. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who I've got DAC into next, you're dead. Like, I'd rather them have to do Skittles into, like, Devil Trigger, Teleport, that sort of stuff. Like, I'd want them to be more creative to kill me. Like, I would appreciate it a lot more. Not saying like lightning loops aren't hard, but yeah.
I think I did lightning loops really easily, just, in training mode, just like, should I try lightning loops? I'll do it. And I think I was able to do it, like, pretty well. Same thing with Doom and his foot dive combos.
Oh, right, yeah.
They just seem, like, so easy to me. Like, so much easier than anything I can do with, like, Morgan.
Maybe you need to play who plays that team? Win Zero? He plays Zero and Jill. I think does he play Zero... Chris on point. Yeah, he did. It's Chris and Jill for sure, because I remember that Chris G, when he knocked him in the losers at Evo, it was mostly Jill comebacks. Does he not play Zero anymore then? He definitely used to play Zero.
I think it was Zero. I want to say it was. I want to say it's Chris Zero Jill, but then who did he have on point?
It had to be Zero, surely. It's got to be.
I think it was Chris.
Oh, he might have had a... I think he does, what's the Shadow Hyper, and then he calls in Chris.
Yeah, he might have done that.
But either way, you should look into that team. If you can do lightning loops, you can play Chris, and you want to play Jill.
I have to buy Jill first, because I don't even have her.
Oh, have you not got her? Oh.
No. That's so sad.
Well, yeah, I guess you wouldn't need to buy her. You can play against her online, and I think she was like £2.99 or something. When I bought them, I was like, I'll put money into this character. Literally, I'll put money into this character. I'm going to learn them. But it didn't last long. I've played Jill like online a bit, but it's hard work. It feels like playing Iron Fist, and even with Iron Fist, it's like I might survive this combo. Jill never survives.
Yeah.
You do not get that second chance with Jill. Like, it is just as bad. It's just as bad. She feels like a risky character. Very risky.
Probably, yeah.
And because, she can't, as long as you've got one bar, you feel a little bit safer when you can do the machine gun spray. It helps knowing that you've got that bar, and it helps when your opponent respects that you've got that bar.
Oh yeah, Morgan does the same thing with her Shadow Servant, pretty much. Yeah,
exactly, yeah. So, it's kind of that mind game, but as soon as you don't have that bar, or, she hasn't got 3 bars, when she's in anger and she hasn't got 3 bars, the people don't really respect her, I don't think.
Yeah.
Really respect her. They should. I think it's just the Jill players need to step up. Or make a team around Jill. Make a team around Jill. I can't think of a shell. I can't think of one character that would complement her that much. I remember I used to play Jill, Wesker, Joe, and the only reason I picked Joe is because you can do some really sick stuff with the bomb.
Oh, yeah.
There was, I'm sure, I can't remember exactly because it was ages ago, but there's some sort of infinite you could do where
Yeah, I actually did it, somebody actually did it to me with Taskmaster on point, where he can keep calling the bomb assist, and then he would go into the hard knockdown, command grab
chopstick.
Yeah,
like that.
And just do that like infinitely. He did it to me like 80 times in a row. It still didn't kill me because it was on Chris, but it was really cool to look at.
So I didn't, because it was a theory thing on my head. Because I know the concept is basically if you block your own bomb, then it resets the assist call.
Yeah.
So as long as you do a combo where you can block your bomb in it, you'll be able to call him again afterwards. And Jill's got something like that when she does one of her throws. If you call Joe before you do the throw, you throw him, block your bomb, and do it again.
Oh yeah, she does. It's like that one where she like
tosses you behind the neck,
like leg lock thing, something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
in my head. I just don't know the name.
It's sort of like the Kami super, but she goes to her neck, twists your neck with her knees,
right?
She chucks you, and it's like a hard knockdown. So you can call Joe, then you do the OTG one, and then the bomb explodes, and it was a concept like that. That's the only reason I picked Joe with her, but I think neutral-wise, I don't know what you're meant to do with her. I don't know if it's good to have a disruptor. I don't know if disruptor's too quick, so she can't get a confirm off of it. Arrows might be good, but
it would take so much practice to come up with something with her for me, though. That's the thing that I don't want to do. I don't want to relearn an entire new team with Jill on point. That'd be hard.
That's what I think. Like Chris would definitely be good because Uzi's good. Uzi's not the easiest thing to convert off, but you've got time because obviously Jill's got that whole full screen like warband kick thing.
Yeah.
So you can do stuff like that. But the other character, I don't know. I don't really think missiles help her that much. Like missiles help everyone, but I don't think she benefits off the missiles that much.
Yeah. I can't see it either.
Same. Drones work okay, but like my theory is like, what is stopping that person from just super jumping anyway? Like, what's Jill gonna do about you super jumping?
That's a good point.
So as soon as you call drones, I'm just gonna super jump. If I can fly, that's even better. What is Jill gonna do down there?
Yeah, because she has to wait for the opponent to get back to the ground before she gets any kind of mix-up, whether it's like a teleport mix-up or whether it's what's that kick called again? The invincible one, the somersault kick. Yeah. She can't. I mean, does she have a command grab in the air?
No, not in the air. No, she's got a normal grab. She's got a normal grab. That's it. The only thing she can do in the air is the knee drop, but that is so slow. It's like it's like trying to hit someone with lightning sphere from Storm. Like it's so slow, you'll see it coming a mile off. Like it's not gonna hit. You can try and time it, but like. So that's obviously the majority of Jills I see have drones, and it's like it's only good if I'm going to stay here and block. If I stay here and block, I'm going to lose my character because I can't block it. You can't block Jill when she's backed by drones. It's like near on impossible. But just get out. Don't put yourself in the situation to block. You can't really do anything. So I don't see I don't see what helps it. I really don't see, and unless it's something weird like parabolic shots from like Taskmaster or something. But I didn't think you'd be a dual player. Would want to be a dual player.
Oh yeah. I mean I liked Cam. I actually played Cammy in Marvel 2, and she reminds me of Cammy a lot too. Now that you mentioned it.
Yeah, the type of being the same. Yeah, maybe that's what they based it off of. I don't know. Maybe. Because I think Chris kind of plays like old